For last term 1, I decided that for my how-to quest, or as I like to call passion project, was to focus on making clay animals. This introduction just goes on about why I chose to make clay animals and explaining that it is going to be steps on which you will see on the next slide. Otherwise, this page just explains how amazing clay is because all of its potential that it can give us. So, let us start the journey on sculpting your creation out of clay. The first step, of course, is gathering. This means you need to get all the essential tools in clay sculpting, such as a plastic knife to cut the clay, water and paintbrush to smooth the clay, and of course, normal clay sculpting tools with the actual clay itself. Most of these you can find in a clay sculpture kit set. Also, throughout your time making your creation, remember to keep the unused clay moist. The second step, making a base. This shows that you need to start from the middle so it is more comfortable for you and helps with your symmetry. You can then have a chunk of clay to act as a torso of the body and work from there, adding arms and legs and other essential parts of your creation. Now you're nearly finished. We move to the third stage, smoothing. This stage can be forgettable sometimes, but is a main priority. Otherwise, your clay might not stick together, as well as get lots of cracks. You can easily smoothen your animal with some water and a paintbrush, but don't add too much water, otherwise it will take a millennium to dry. Finally, the last stage, packing up. You do this by packing the leftover clay in an airlock bag/box and wash up the tools that you use to sculpt. As well as that, put your new clay animal in a separate polystyrene box and leave it there till it is dry enough to not take any damage from your nails. I'm saying that from experience. Now that you know the basics of clay making, it's time for me to show you my pros and cons while I did my 3 examples. First one being a mule head. For this one, I didn't try to put in much detail because I was afraid it would turn out wrong, so I went for a simplistic design that was easy to smooth in. My second one was, as you can see, the dragon. I gave myself more freedom this time in the detail, so I added on feather lines, markings, and also did a full body so I could do a unique pose. The problem with this one, though, was that it wasn't smoothed as well as the first one, so it turned out more cracked. Now it's time for the last. The badger. This was meant to be a cat wearing a flower crown, but I really cannot make flowers out of clay, so this is what it turned out as. I'm happy with the results because I learnt to be free of my making from the first one and make sure it was smooth from the second, and it made a pretty good one. So, in conclusion of this project, I'd say that I learned a lot. I displayed my knowledge the best I could and even took different approaches with learning it. I'm happy that it all turned out well, and I'm considering making clay to be a new hobby of mine. I can't wait to do quests again next term.